Yapping Fever.
Hello, welcome to Yapping Fever. This is the podcast about all things 20s, careers, dreams, chaos, growth, and the realness of adulting. I'm your host, Tamara, and let's get into today's yap. Hey guys, I'm back, and I am back within a fortnight, so that is good. That is good. I'm glad that I am back to my usual schedule. Today is a beautiful day. It's Saturday. And the sun is shining. It really feels like spring. Probably not summer because it's still too cold. But yeah, it's like 1 p.m. and I feel like I should be outside instead of filming this podcast. But gotta film this first and then hopefully I can go for a walk and like enjoy some of the sun. I'm actually a little bit blinded by it, I think. Watch me have to close the blinds. But yeah, it's such a great day, which means it's such a great day to film this episode for you. Today, I have a pretty vulnerable episode. I'm going to be pretty open and honest because I think that's important. Sometimes having a podcast, especially one that talks about the chaos and the mess of your 20s, I want to be real and I want to be realistic to you guys. I don't always have it all together and I don't feel like my life is perfect. So we're going to get into that. But first, I'm going to give you my creative recommendation. Lately, I've been binging a lot of TV shows. I'm not going to lie. I've been going through ones I wanted to watch for ages, and then I've just been stumbling across a few. And I ended up re-watching the Doctor Who specials that came out like 2022 when David Tennant, who played the Doctor years ago, came back into his role for like 3 episodes. It's great. It's great. Catherine Tate is also in it. I think they're my favorite iconic Doctor and duo people. I grew up watching David Tennant as the Doctor. I loved Doctor Who as a kid. I used to watch it every week, and I used to remember like back then they'd tell you like what the next episode was going to be the week after, and I'd get so excited. Anyway, I watched that, and then the new Doctor came along, and then I've been binging his season. I'm so sorry, I can't remember his name, but he's fantastic. I reckon he's my second favorite Doctor. I think David Tennant will always be my favorite. I also do think Matt Smith is great. I never finished his series, but he's like another one that's good. But I would say the current Doctor, I don't think he's current anymore. I think they've now changed. He only did 2 seasons, but he is my second favorite. And I've been binging his seasons and I'm loving it. And the writing's so good. It's still written by the same guy who wrote the episodes with David Tennant. His name's Russell T. Davis, something. His first name is Russell, and great writer. Now is a producer as well on it. And I just think the episodes are so good. I'm like addicted. I literally was like having to film this podcast and I was trying to finish my episode because I want to watch it and I want to know what's going on. And it's so good. So my creative recommendation is the Doctor Who season that's out now, like the most recent 2. It's actually on Disney Plus if you have that, and they've rebranded it as season 1. So the 14th Doctor, but season 1 of Doctor Who. Love it. So good. Give it a watch. If you do watch or if you have seen it, let me know your thoughts and opinions, because of course Doctor Who changes, like the actor changes all the time. So people have their favorites, but I think these episodes are really good. I also like the side girl, Ruby Sunday, in it. I think she's great. She's not as prominent in season 2, but she's still in it. And I think she's a great side character. So that is my creative recommendation. And today, getting into the episode, I mentioned at the top that I want to be pretty honest and pretty vulnerable with you. And I feel like lately I keep feeling the pressure of trying to do more, and it's quite constant. I have a few days off in the week where normally I'm like home alone, and at nighttime I'll see my boyfriend. And he always asks like, how was your day? Did you have a good day? And lately I've noticed I've been replying a lot with like, I wasn't productive enough. And the other day he called me out for it and he was like, I didn't actually ask if you were productive. I asked if you had a good day. But I'm kind of putting my like self-worth around my productivity. And if I wasn't productive, well then I had an awful day. And on top of that, I feel like I can be productive, but I just don't complete everything that's on my to-do list. And therefore, I didn't have a productive day. So for example, I can be like, oh, I prepped my podcast, or I filmed my podcast, and I read some of my book, and I did some other tasks I need to get done, but I didn't get time to fit in exercise, so I didn't have a productive day. Or I can flip it and I can be like, oh, I went to Pilates, I walked my dog, I did one more thing, but then I didn't get to fit in one other task that was on my to-do list, so I wasn't productive. Even though I have done a few productive tasks, it's like it's not counting. And if you ask someone who has this mindset, you'll know that the list of like productive things or the things that you need to get done is never ending. As soon as you finish one thing, it's on to the next. And I don't think it's the healthiest mindset. I don't think putting your self-worth around if you are productive enough or if you're always trying to do more is a good thing. And yeah, it kind of creates this spiral of like never ending doubt, or for me personally, always feeling like I'm not doing enough, which therefore means I always feel like I'm really behind. Which, number one, I think so many people can probably relate to. Number two, is it really true? Like, I'm 23, am I really behind in life? Number three, I feel like there are times where like you have different priorities in life. At the moment, I feel very, very behind in my career and I feel like it's very stagnant and I'm not doing enough with my career. However, if you're following this podcast, you know that I'm off to Europe in a very short amount of time for 2 whole months, which means that like things that I normally like to do to help my career, I'm not focusing heaps on because my spare time is number one, I'm spending it organizing Europe, if it's making sure my accommodation is booked, if it's planning like travel days, if it's working out what to do when I'm in those cities so that everything runs smoothly. I'm focusing a lot of my time on organizing Europe. And secondly, I'm overseas for 2 months, which is a long time to kind of be out of like the acting industry and to be out of the creative industry. It's not like I can really be auditioning for things because most things are filming or on around that September, October time that I'm not here. So I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything. Like I can't get an acting job, but there's reason for it. Like I'm not going to be around. I'm not going to be in the country. But I feel like I'm looking at that as like, I'm so far behind. I'm falling behind. Why aren't you doing more? Instead of being like, go enjoy your holiday. Chill. Like focus your energy on this part of your life and then come back and get back into your career. But yeah, I just wanted to add it that I think that's also like probably not helping this mindset, because even if I'm doing something that's like productive in my career, maybe for the long, long run, in this like short time, I'm like, well, I can't do anything right now. So I'm so far behind when I know people who are like getting auditions for something that's coming up. But it's not just like my career. I think it's a few aspects, which is why it's really like at the forefront of my thinking, because I'm like, oh, you're not achieving enough in so many aspects of your life and you're not feeling productive enough in day-to-day life. Therefore, you're behind. And this probably stems from a few places. Number one, probably just me. Like I've always been told by people around me, my boyfriend, my mom, some friends, you know you're really harsh on yourself, right? I get that one quite a bit. Like I don't really see my accomplishments as anything. I think, like I've said, you kind of complete something and you're on to the next thing. And I do think you accomplish things in day-to-day life that you don't really recognize. And like I said, I can do 4 productive things, but then I'm like, I wasn't productive. And they're like, you're harsh on yourself. Like you did it. You did stuff today. You did stuff in like the right direction, you know? To walk up the staircase, you got to take every step. So number one, it's me. Like I'm just quite tough on myself. I think I'm also aware that I'm a bit of a procrastinator, to be completely honest. I do procrastinate a bit. So I think being a procrastinator, but also trying to always be productive and probably hit a more like being a perfectionist does not help. It does not go hand in hand. If you want to be a procrastinator, I think it's more easy if you have like a chill outlook. But if I do procrastinate, or if I do take downtime, because I do know I need downtime. I am someone who needs 8 hours sleep to function. I do know I need to rest. I do resting mostly by like watching TV. And if I do that, sometimes I like really beat myself up because it's like, you're not being productive. When in reality, I might just need to like take time to chill. Another thing is social media really does push like hustle culture. If you're not hustling 24 hours a day, what are you doing? Like it's very common for them to be like, you need to be doing everything. And like, I think at the moment on social media as well, it's like my 5 to 9 before my 9 to 5 or my 5 to 9 after my 9 to 5. And if you're not doing that after your job, you're not being productive enough. which also doesn't help. And then, like I said, every aspect. I feel like I'm trying to maintain exercise, trying to make sure I'm making money, so like keeping my job. I'm trying to keep a social life. I'm trying to pursue my career constantly or do something for my career all the time. And if I'm not executing all these different aspects of my life, then I'm falling behind. I need to be constantly improving. And it's a tough mindset to have. And I think when you think like that, like to think like this occasionally I think is okay, but when you're thinking like it day in, day out, and at the end of the day you're being like, I wasn't productive, you kind of create like a spiral or a bad mindset. And I'm someone who's a bit known to like spiral. My boyfriend likes to call it a circle, because I say like a spiral, you like start at the top and then you fall your way down. But he thinks it's a circle because it's on loop. I can't get out of these like 4 thoughts that are on repeat. And it always starts with like, I wasn't productive enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm a failure. I need to do more. No wonder I'm so far behind in life. Like it's just, I jump from like thought to thought to thought. And then I don't really look for an outcome, which is why it's a circle. It's just on loop. And I wanted to put that all out and be pretty honest and open with you. To number 1, if you like can relate, no, you're not alone. And number 2, to be like, it's a negative mindset. So like, how do we shift this? How do we start focusing on more positives so that you don't feel crap at the end of each day, or so that you can recognize that even if you are productive or if you weren't productive, it's okay. Like, give yourself some grace. You're allowed to have lazy afternoons. You're allowed to sleep in. You're allowed to also be productive but not complete your 10 things on your to-do list. So what are the little things that you are doing and are achieving that are going to help you in the long run, but you can't see in like the day-to-day life? So that brings us to the topic of today, which is mini milestones that deserve more credit. I sometimes think the beauty of life is the small things that you have to do constantly that kind of gives you a toolbox. And some of them are boring, and some of them you kind of just do and you don't think about it. And they're actually like, they're good things. And it is a step in the right direction. It is going to help you. It is actually keeping you productive. You're just not aware of it in everyday life. It's only when you've done it for ages, or you take 3 steps back and look at how far you've come, that you're like, oh, I am improving. I am productive. It just looks different to what I thought. There's a great, I think I'll post it to my Yapping Fever Instagram, but there's a great photo, and it's like, this is what progress looks like. And instead of it being like a staircase that goes all the way up, I think it's like a constant like line, and then it goes up a little bit, and then it goes back down, and then it goes up again, and then it goes really slowly up and then drops down. And I think it just shows that like every day is different, but if you are doing things and putting stuff into your toolbox, it will help in the long run. Okay, so many milestones are things that you do frequently because you have to, or like it's just part of everyday life, or you're an adult and this is how life works. And because you do them so constantly, or they are quite small, you don't really notice it. But they are things that like I think you should give yourself credit for, because you achieved something, you spent your time doing it. Sometimes they suck and you got through it. And as someone who's always chasing productivity and perfectionism, probably, let's be honest, it's nice to look back at the small things that you just do every day and be like, yeah, I did these things. I ticked off these 3 things that I do all the time, but that's great. Rather than being like, oh my God, I only did 3 things and I didn't do anything in my massive to-do list because like I'm a failure. That's how my mind thinks. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about a few of my mini milestones and things that I think if you're doing, give yourself some credit. Pat yourself on the back. Be like, yes, queen, you did that. Yes, king, you slayed. Rather than just like forgetting about it or just thinking it's everyday life. Like I think it's great to pause and be like, I did this. And even though it might seem small in the day, in the long run, it all works up to something. So my first one is exercise. Fitting in exercise in everyday life actually can be difficult, and you actually do have to prioritize it. And I think that if you are someone who does regularly exercise, you kind of don't, like, it kind of just becomes second nature to be like, I have to go exercise, and you don't give yourself credit. When in reality, you're an adult, you don't need to exercise. And if you don't exercise, that's fine. Like, it might not be something for you, but it is smart to try and exercise, but like, it might not be something that you are constantly trying to do. I'm someone who does try to exercise every day. I don't. I probably exercise more around 5 to 6 times a week. And that can just include a walk. Like, it doesn't have to be the most strenuous thing in the world, but I am someone who does try and do it consistently. And I think because I do it so commonly, I kind of forget that, like, I'm actually prioritizing exercise. Because when you become an adult, no one's forcing you to do anything. You have to do it yourself. And I actually look back, like, during high school, I wasn't actually someone who did prioritize exercise. I would do walks a lot, like I would walk, but I think I wasn't constantly doing exercise. I didn't really play. Growing up, I was a competitive diver, and I did dancing and I did gymnastics. But then when I hit high school, I didn't do like much exercise. Like, I didn't have a team sport like most of my friends. I didn't like PE class. You were forced to do it then. But like, besides that and like going on a few walks, I didn't have to like do exercise, so I didn't do it as much. And I kind of worked my way into finding exercise again after school finished and in my early 20s. And I have come to realize that I love it. And I have a very fit family. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think I have people in my family who grew up a lot more than me, constantly exercising, so I always saw it. So I think it was like, is why I've kind of fallen into liking it. Like, I have a mom and she runs constantly on the treadmill and she does walks, and my dad does hiking, and my brothers play water polo and swim and run and ski, and we all stay fit. So I think that's probably why it's kind of like embedded into me. But yeah, as an adult, you have to choose to exercise. You have to choose to make it a priority. And spending an hour a day to fit in exercise, or an hour a day 5 times a week, does take time, does take effort, and is definitely a mini milestone. And for me personally, like, I've said it before, but I love reformer Pilates. I do that 3 times a week. That's, my classes are 50 minutes every week. Sometimes I walk to and from Pilates too. So it's like an hour of exercise, and like, absolutely, like, I'm putting in the effort to be there. I'm paying money. I'm setting out time, and I've come to love that, and I think it's fantastic. But because it's so like normal to me now, you kind of forget that you're achieving something. I also have gotten back into running recently. I'm not someone who loves running as much, but I've been running, and I run about 3 to 6 Ks. I try and run twice a week. If not, I've run every week for the last like few months. That's great for me. One run a week, fantastic. I also walk. I walk on lunch breaks at my job. I walk my dog in the afternoons. I go for a walk on weekends if I'm not really feeling up to doing exercise. I also, normally when I do Pilates, if I'm not working, I try to do Pilates and walk the same day. I normally walk about 4 to 5 Ks. So that's like quite a lot of like time I'm prioritizing exercise. It's also the first time in my life I've able to balance both running and Pilates. When I first started running like really hard about 2 years ago, I did not do any strength work. I actually injured myself probably because I didn't do strength work. When I first started Pilates, I didn't run at all, and I found it hard to even fit walks in because I feel like I was buggered. But now I'm Pilating 3 times a week, running twice or once a week. I feel like it's a good balance. I'm finally getting somewhere, and I think when I look at that full picture, like, oh my God, you're exercising 5 to 6 times a week? That's heaps. That's actually a big milestone. Like, that's great for me as someone who, like, in high school, I was not an exercising girl. So yeah, that's your first milestone. If you exercise, give yourself a clap. Milestone number 2 is doing your laundry or cleaning. For me, it's like doing my laundry. I feel like laundry can be such a hard thing, and it's something that I feel like you forget about, and it's too late. And if you can do your laundry before you run out of your clean socks, slayed. Crushed it. Are you kidding? Like, some people are a little bit different. I feel like laundry is the one that gets me. But it could be for you, it could be like cooking. If you like cook every day, especially if you cook like fresh meals, fantastic. That's a milestone. You have to set time aside to cook. And if you're cooking something healthy or something that you know you're going to love and enjoy, that's great. The other one for me would be cleaning my room. I don't know how my room gets so messy every 3 to 4 days. I swear I clean it all the time. But like setting time aside to clean it, especially when like it's getting messy and I get on top of it, absolutely a mini milestone. Give yourself credit. The other one is like, even at the end of the day, if you like change out your clothes and put them straight back in your closet or put them straight in the wash, brilliant, because I love to just chuck it on the floor. I think that's how it probably becomes messy. But yeah, like doing little cleaning, doing cooking, doing your laundry. I'm someone who I try and hang my clothes out rather than use a dryer, so I wash them and then hang them out. I have to remember to get it out of the washing machine. Sometimes I'm great at like, I'm putting my washing on, and then 3 hours later I'm like, oh my God, the washing is still in the washer. So like actually completing the task as well is great. I looked up because I was like, I think I spend a lot of time cleaning. I was like, how much do they think that you clean throughout your life? And apparently, according to Google, they think about 100 days of your life is spent cleaning if you average about 6 weeks cleaning. So I guess it depends like what your lifestyle is like and what you do. But 100 days of your life cleaning, that's a lot. That's a lot of time. That's also like they count a day as 24 hours. So many hours, and keeping your clothes clean, keeping your room clean, keeping your lifestyle clean and tidy is a milestone. So give yourself credit for that one. The next mini milestone is you've stopped doom scrolling and you're doing something else. Oh my God. This one is actually give yourself credit for. I don't know if you have like social media, you'll be more on top of this, but like sometimes you can tell you're doom scrolling and you still doom scroll. Like that is how addicting social media is and how bad our attention spans are coming. Because like I know my doom scrolling is bad is if like I'm on TikTok and there's like a minute long video and I can't wait to the end and I have to swipe because I'm bored. Oh my God, how bad is my like attention span? It's so bad. I have like timers set for my social medias. I have one for TikTok and I have one for Insta. And the whole point is when I hit the timer, I'm supposed to like get off the app for the day. So many times I just like, remind me in 15 minutes, or ignore the limit for today. So bad. And you can get addicted to doom scrolling and you can be aware that you're doing it and still doing it. So if you do notice you're doom scrolling and then you like get off it, credit. So good. I do recommend, if you don't, set some timers. I don't always listen to them, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I get hit it and I'm like, okay, get off it. Put your phone down. I don't know if you've also noticed like your phones are so addicting. You can check it on iPhones. I'm not sure if you can check it on like Samsungs or Androids. But it will tell you your pickups. If you go to like your, what's it called? Like time, display, I don't know, something on settings, it will tell you how many times you've picked up your phone. And like, I think that can, sometimes you'll pick up your phone, you'll sign into your phone, you'll look at the home screen and you're like, I don't know what I need. Like, and then you put it back down. That is what a pickup is. And it's just like how many times you sign into your phone, and it just shows how addicting they are and how addicting like getting on social media and doom scrolling can be. So once you realize you're doom scrolling, put the phone down and go and do something else. Go for a walk, clean your room, read a book, do anything, tick off another like mini milestone. And put it down. Sometimes I'm able to literally know I'm doom scrolling, put the phone away and not touch it again, or not touch it for like at least like 3 hours, which then gets me out of the doom scrolling loop. So highly recommend that. And I do think if you stop doom scrolling, it definitely is a mini milestone. Give yourself some credit, I was supposed to say, because I just think it's so addicting and you don't realize how addicting it is. Yeah, go look at your pickups. See how many times you pick up your phone. See how many hours you spend on social media. If you're not someone who is like aware of it, you might be surprised. You might be surprised how much like time is spent doing that. My screen time is always really high on podcast days because I film on my phone. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I spent so many hours. I was like, oh, well, I actually filmed for like an hour and then I edited. So like, it's okay to have like, I think it's okay to have like high screen time sometimes, but it's like what you're doing on the phone. I'd rather you like, I think it's much better to like notice your doom scrolling and then watch a TV show instead, because at least then like you have to keep your attention span for longer and you're not spiraling. Doom scrolling is like its own type of niche thing that is bad for your attention span, bad for your mental health, bad in general, I think. So yeah, stop doom scrolling and you've done something more grounding. Give yourself credit for the day. The next mini milestone is that you've finished a TV show, a book, a movie, a project. I actually think finishing something deserves credit. I am someone, and I think part of it comes because like I want to be an actor. I give myself credit every time I finish a TV show. I don't care if I sat all day and binged the TV show, which probably isn't the best thing. If I finished it, credit. Because I also think sometimes shows get boring, or you like stop watching it, or you just move on to the next thing, so you don't actually finish it. But then I think if you can complete a show, a book, you give yourself credit. Give yourself credit. Lately, I've been binging quite a lot of TV shows, and I think I've finished some great shows. And especially as an actor, like I think it's really important to watch a variety of things. And I've been trying to watch more things that are a bit out of my usual like main type of shows that I like. And I absolutely think I deserve credit for getting through them. And I also have found like some of them I loved, and I'm like, oh, I'm so ready for season 2 if they make one, or like this was the best thing and I wouldn't normally watch it, and I think this has like helped. And like it's entertainment. Like TV shows and movies are entertainment. Enjoy it. Absolutely. But then if you finish it, credit. I have like a notes list of all the TV shows I want to watch, and as soon as I finish them, I tick it off. And I feel proud. I'm like, yeah, you finished it. Go girl. Same with like Letterboxd. Like I now record all my movies. Every time I finish a movie, I'm like, yeah, so good. Like I don't know if that's like the smartest thing, because I don't think you should like sit and watch movies all the time, but I think it's great. I think it's a mini milestone. And I think especially if it's a book, guys, especially if it's a book that you sat and read, like absolutely give yourself credit. I actually think I found out that Australia is like the lowest it's ever been with reading. People are reading less and less than they ever had. And especially like a physical book. Like I know reading also like people audiobook, but I think it is hard. Like I'm not saying it's bad to audiobook, but I think it is harder to sit down, pay attention to reading a hardcover book. And like also that is getting off, like if you read a hardcover book, you're not even reading on like a screen, so it's tough, and it's good of you. So yeah, give yourself credit, especially for completing books. I'm reading a book at the moment. I'm actually loving it. I feel like I'm not giving myself enough time to read it. Like I think I need to like set time aside just to sit and read for like even like half an hour. I feel like I read and it's only like at the end of the night and it's like 10 minutes and I'm tired and have to sleep. But yeah, I'm reading a book called The Great Big Beautiful Life. It's really good. I'm loving it. It's by Emily Henry. I've got like the physical copy of the book, nearly done. I'm trying to complete it before Europe. So I think I will have to set time aside to read it. Yeah, but it's great. Emily Henry is actually my favorite author. I like all her books. This one's pretty good. So like if you're reading, and you don't even have to finish the book. Like, let's be honest. If it's reading and you're just reading a few chapters a day, that is a mini milestone. Give yourself credit, because I think it does, in this day and age, take so much effort to like actually be like, oh, I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to read an article, rather than just doom scrolling on your phone or going on social media or easily playing a TV show. All right, this next one ties in really perfectly with the topic, because I'm saying I'm not having good days if I'm not productive, or I'm being quite harsh on myself. So this one, if you are someone like me in that sense, this one is kind of like a nice mini milestone to give yourself credit. It's you allowed yourself time to do something you enjoy and not feel guilty. Like I said, I'm someone who, when I want to rest, I do put on TV shows or I put on movies. I think it's a great way for me to rest because I enjoy it. It's entertainment. I also feel like I said, as an actor, it's good to watch different things. But But I feel like if I have days and I'm like, I'm not being productive enough, and then I watch something, like I watch an episode or something, it's like, well, why did you do that? Like, why weren't you being productive? So I think like shifting the mindset and being like, you either need time to rest, like you're tired or your body wants to rest, or you've actually been productive and it's like now you can give yourself some time. Allow yourself time to do something that you enjoy and don't feel guilty. Allow yourself time to like at nighttime put on a movie and watch it. At 1 p.m. in the day, if you want to break and you don't want to like jump to the next task and you're like, I'm going to have lunch, like during my lunch break, I'm going to watch a TV show. Like do something you enjoy and don't feel guilty about it. And even if you can, because this is the hard one, right? It's like if you haven't been the most productive, instead of being like, well, you haven't been productive, you don't deserve to do anything like you enjoy, you can be like, you're right, I haven't had the most productive day today, but I'm still going to take time to do something I enjoy and not feel guilty about it. You don't need to have the most productive day in the world every day. You can have shit days and then still be like, I just deserve to do something I enjoy, no matter what that is. And that looks different for everyone. Some people, that's just like having a shower and washing your hair and doing your skincare. Other people like me, it's watching a TV show episode. It might even be like baking something or reading your book or journaling. No matter what it is, sometimes you need to allow yourself time just to do something you like and not feel guilty. It does not matter if you had a productive day. You can still do something you enjoy and not feel guilty about it. So that if you're doing that, like that's a great mini milestone. The next one is you manage to shift your negative mindset. This is such a big thing, especially if you are someone who does deal with like mental health issues. It can be hard to shift mindsets, or if you are someone who's like prone to feeling anxious, it can be hard to like switch it around. So if you recognize that you're having like a negative mindset or a mindset that's not right, and you're able to recognize it and then shift it to be more positive, give yourself credit. Like I said at the top of this video, I'm someone who spirals, or I'm someone who circles and loops. Like sometimes I have times like that and I'm like, no, like you're spiraling, move on, let it go. And like there will be times where like you need to spiral or you need to have a mental breakdown, and that's fine. But if it's happening constantly, or you're just aware like you're digging a deeper hole rather than like actually helping, you can shift it. I've had times where I'm like jumping from negativity to negativity and I'm like, no, stop. This isn't right. Be positive. Shift it. Do something different. If it's you think a different way, or you actually like get up and like walk into a different room to like change your mindset, it can help. And it's a mini milestone, because if you get stuck in those negative ways, you can ruin your whole entire day. Where if you recognize it and you like notice it, I actually had one the other day. I'll be honest. I had like a mindset and it was really bad, and it happened about 11 a.m. And instead of going down that path, I was like, no, stop, shift it, be more positive. And then I think I went for a walk, and then I ended up having a great day because I shifted my mindset. It also can work if you're like feeling anxious. Like it doesn't have to be like negative. It can be like noticing you're having an anxious thought and being like, no, this isn't true. This is just your anxiety. And then that can help as well. So like, yeah, shifting your mindsets to being more positive, to recognizing that these thoughts are unhealthy and doing something about it. And sometimes like this one, like just shifting your mindset sounds so small and so simple and so like kind of insignificant. But I promise you, sometimes that is the like biggest mini milestone that you should be giving yourself credit for. Absolutely. Your like mental health and how you think is everything. So if you're able to like recognize that like this is an unhealthy thought, or this is an anxious thought, or this is negative and detrimental to me today, and shifting it, please give yourself the most credit for that. It can change your entire day. It can change your entire mental health. Like it's so important. If you've done that today, if you've done that in the last week, literally clap for yourself. Please. It sounds so small and so insignificant. And if you are someone who doesn't struggle with mental health, you might be like, I don't really get it. But I know I have friends and like I know what this mindset is like, and I'm someone who is very anxious and who can spiral and who doesn't think great all the time. So like, breathe, give yourself credit for shifting your mindset. I'm really proud of you.
The last mini milestone that I'm going to talk about today is you're busy, but you made time for your social life. I actually think this deserves more credit. Controversially, I think people who are like, I'm so busy, I can't see you, I'm so busy, I can't catch up, is not something to boast about. I do think being busy and having this hustle cultural lifestyle is really popular. And I think quite often, sometimes you see it in like, I'm so busy, like I can't see people. Like I'm so busy, I can't see you for 2 months. And I don't get me wrong. If you're like just friends, like that's fine. But if you're like quite close with people, I think that's not good. I don't think that's something to be proud of. I think you deserve more credit when you're like, I'm busy, but I'm going to still have a social life. And I think it's probably better for you. I think sometimes like I'm stressed and I'm busy. I'm like, oh my God, like how can I fit this in? How can I spend time to like see my friends? And then I go see my friends and I'm like, ugh, I needed this. I actually needed this. I feel better. I feel more put together. I feel less stressed. Like there's just so many different things. And I think it absolutely helps. And I think being someone who's busy, that's fine. You're allowed to be busy. And it depends what it is. It depends if you're busy all the time. It depends if like you're just busy at one moment. But if you're like busy, I do think you should set time aside to like see your friends, have a social life. It will make a difference. You'll feel better. They'll love it. You're technically a better friend because like you caught up more. Yeah, and I think sometimes like having friend catch-ups is so important. And it's give yourself credit. Again, as an adult, it's up to you to keep your friendships. You're not forced into school to see people 5 days a week. So like you're kind of just friends by proximity. Like it's up to you to text your friends. It's up to you to like make plans. It's up to you to be a good friend and show up for people when you need it. And it's up to you to like commit to plans when you say you are. And it's fine. Like if you are really busy, you can be like, look, I'm really busy. Let's push it back a week. Or I'm busy. Can we just do something that's like only going to take an hour or 2 hours rather than like, I don't know, half a day. But being busy and having a social life deserves more credit. Just having a social life in general probably deserves more credit. Like seeing your friends just deserves more credit. It's so good for you. And yeah, I just think when you are busy, social life is the first thing that goes. Like people are like, oh, I'm so busy, I can't have a social life. Why I think you deserve credit if you're like, I'm busy, but I'm still going to make time to see my friends. I heard this advice from my mum. She didn't come up with it, but she told it to me. It's great. And it's that every time you do something, it's like depositing it into a bank. So you have a big bank of your life, and then every time you do like a mini milestone, you're putting a deposit into your bank, because life and skills and everything is kind of like all made by small little steps and all done by like consistently doing the small things. So if you like constantly exercise, you're making little deposits of every time you exercise into your bank. And then when you look back, you have a wealth of exercise. Like you get fitter, you get stronger. It helps you like continue to improve. And even though when you do it at that time, it might not seem it, but looking back at it, you can see all the different like wealth and all the different categories you have. Even like mini milestones of like cleaning can definitely help with like your organization in the long run and how you organize things. I talked about like a mini milestone of stop doom scrolling can help with like working out your attention span. Shifting your mindset can help give you like a healthier mindset in the long run and like deposit into like positive mindset into your bank. So yeah, I just think it's like a cool way to look at it, that like life really is how you like spend your time, and all the small things make up your life. So doing things constantly and doing these small things and giving yourself credit for small things is important, because when you look back, you'll notice the difference and you'll notice that you're improving, and you'll notice that like life's got all these like great little things that you sometimes miss. And you should be proud of yourself for the small things as much as the massive achievements, because you only get the massive achievements by actually doing all these mundane, small, mini milestones. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening. I do hope you enjoyed it. I do hope that if you are someone who has a bit of like mindset like me, like feeling like they need to be productive all the time, you can now be like, oh, let's look at all the like little tiny things I've done that is productive and is important. And let me know if you have any of your own mini milestones as well. There's a lot more out there, so I would love to hear them. It can be literally anything. It can even be like getting up in the morning on the first alarm. I don't do that. And if you do that, give yourself credit, because you haven't wasted half an hour trying to get out of bed. Yeah, and I hope that if you are a person who's also harsh on yourself, like give yourself some grace, give yourself some credit. You're doing great. You're not behind in life. It's okay. It's okay. If you want to let me know what your mini milestones are, I'd love to hear them. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Yapping Fever, or my personal Instagram at Tamara.bar, and follow both of them if you're not already. Please follow if you're listening on YouTube or Spotify. Share it with a friend. Help them out. Make them feel a little bit better about their mundane, everyday life things that they do. And thank you so much, guys. I'll be back in your ears in a fortnight. Bye.